Hello everyone, my name is Shubhajit and today we will be discussing about the useRef hook in React. So it is also one of the basic hooks which one should learn when he is learning React. So let's get started. There is a lot of similarity between the useRef hook and the useState hook. If you haven't watched the useState hook video, you can actually go to the description and there you can get the useState hook video. But I would give a little bit glimpse about it. So useState hook is used when we want to trigger a re-render in the UI whenever the state variable changes, which is declared with the help of useState. But in case of useRef, we don't want to trigger a re-render whenever the useRef variable changes. Or basically the variable which is declared with the help of useRef, this ref, whenever this ref changes, we don't want to have a re-render on the UI. So that is the major difference. But the ref variable will be maintained with its value even if the re-renders are happening. Let me explain you and go to the VS Code so that you can understand it better. Uh, so basically, this UI is having two buttons. One is the counter click. You pressed me count times, and this handle counter click, what it does, it is related with the set count to count plus one, which is actually the state variables uh, counter increment. The next button will show the ref value, okay, which is related to the use ref. So here we can compare both of them, how they are behaving on the UI. So as we know that whenever the count variable changes, this UI is rendered again with a new value of count variable. But that's not the case with this ref value. So whenever this ref value changes, it will not trigger a render on the UI and we will not be able to see an increase in the ref's value. We will only be able to see that whenever this button is clicked, because it will re-render the UI and then on the UI we will be able to see the current value of ref. So what is this ref value dot current? You should also understand that. So while declaring this use ref, we will give it an initial value. Okay. So this initial value determines that what will be there in ref value dot current. So basically making it like this, we are actually saying that, okay, put this 0 to ref value dot current. And we should also understand that whether we will be reading from this ref or whether we will be writing into this ref, we will be only using this ref value dot current. We will not directly use this ref value here. So let's say if we want to make the ref value to 5, so we will do ref value dot current is equals to 5. We will not do like this, ref value is equals to 5. This is invalid. So we should do it like that. And also whenever we are reading the value, ref value, we will be reading it like this, ref value dot current, instead of only ref value. So I hope you have understood that part. So here to compare both of them, we have actually taken a ref variable with an initial value of 0 and this value will be stored in the ref value dot current. Take a ref value as an object where current is a key and its value is 0 for now. And we have taken a normal variable which we have initialized as 0. Okay. Then there is some console logs which prints the present ref value on this render and the normal value. This is the counter click which will increment the counter by 1, which is the state variable. Here comes the actual function which is of our need for now, which will be triggered on click of this button. So whenever we click this button, ref click count, showing this content, then this handle ref incremental click will be triggered. And when it is triggered, it will actually run this part of code. And what is it saying? It will increase the current ref value by 1, and it will also increase the normal value by 1. Okay, so what we are able to understand from this is, okay, so whenever we click this button, then the current value of ref will be incremented by 1, normal value will also be incremented by 1. The number of times we will click it, the number of times it will happen. But when we will click this button, which is actually changing the state variable, it will trigger a re-render. And when it is triggering a re-render, this part of code will run again. This ref value will be as it is based on how many times we have clicked, but this normal value will be again resetted to 0. So I think now you will be able to understand, now you are able to understand what is the actual difference. So the ref value will retain the value from previous renders, but this normal value will always be resetted to the value which it is initialized to on every render. So the use case here is whenever we want some variable to store the value on re-rendering, even after re-rendering, we will use this useRef. And if we don't want to store any value on re-rendering, we can just use a normal variable with a let keyword. Okay, so I will also show you the demo on the UI, how it looks like. So let's go. So here you can see that, let's clear the console. Here you can see that this is the state one, which actually increments the state variable and actually triggers a re-render. And this is the ref one, which useRef one, which will actually show that how many times we have clicked this button, which is related to useRef. But I have to say that on pressing this, the UI will be re-rendered, but on press of this, the UI will not re-render. So let me show you that. So let me press this. Okay, so you are able to see that the UI is rendered and the component rendering ref value 0, normal value 0. So this actually is coming from here. Component rendering ref value initially is 0 and the normal value is also 0. Okay, so why it is happening twice, that is a different topic. That is due to the strict mode, which only happens in development, not in production. In production it only runs once. You don't need to care about this now because we can cover it in later part, but just understand that React re-renders twice in case of development mode. But just for now, just take it that okay, these things are happening. Okay, let's clear the console, and for now the count is 1, which is the state variable, and ref is 0. Let me press the ref 3 times. 1, 2, 3. It is not increased to 3 because the UI is not re-render, but internally the value of normal val as well as the ref val is incremented to 3 due to this function. Okay, now whenever I press this, the UI render is triggered and the values of ref and the normal value is shown in the console. Let's see. So I clicked it. What are you able to see? You are able to see the ref value of 3. That is the number of times we have clicked this. And here also it's updated, but the normal value is 0. So as I have explained that the normal value will be 0 every time the component is rendered, but the ref value will be retained by the UI even after it's re-rendering the UI. So that's one of the use cases of useRef. The other use case is manipulating DOM elements. What do you mean by that? So let's actually pull an example for that. Okay, you might also be wondering that, okay, where is this hello React learners coming from? So the main root component is that app.js, and inside that I have an h1 which actually shows this hello React learners, and after that we have this counter with ref, this component which I have just showed you. Now I will also add one more component which is input focus, and this input focus, and let me remove this because this is not required for now. So what is input focus? Let me close this. So if you see the input focus element, it has an input element and we have a ref inside that. We have a button element which have a normal on click handler which triggers the handle focus method, and inside that handle focus method we have a line of code. Okay, I will explain you what this line of code is. So here in line number 4 we have input ref which is initialized as null with the help of useRef for now, and this ref is actually present in this input element and it is given a value to this ref ref key, you can say a ref property. Okay, so what does it do? So basically it actually binds this whole input element to this input ref. Now we can actually call the properties of this input element with the help of this input ref. How are we doing that? So let's say here what we are achieving is we are on clicking of this button which is named as focus, this input element will be focus and we will be able to type in that. Okay, so how are we doing that? Whenever we click in this button, whenever we click on this button, the handle focus function will be triggered and then it will actually call this, and as I have told that the ref will not be used as it is, it has to be used with dot current, and then that input ref dot current will actually give us the input element, and then we are calling the focus function on that. The focus function, what it does, it actually focuses the element on which it is called. So on the input element it is called, it will focus that input element. Okay, let's see it in action in our demo. Hope you have understood this DOM manipulation example. I will just give a demo. So here you can see we have an input element and a focus button. Now let me try to type something on my keyboard. You can see nothing is happening. Okay, nothing is happening. But whenever I click focus, the focus goes to this input element. Now I can type in that. So here we are using the useRef hook to actually manipulate the DOM. So these are the two main use cases of useRef hook. The first one is when we want the value to be retained even after re-rendering of component, and the second is the DOM manipulation. So that's all about useRef hook, and if you guys have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. I will be very happy to help you there. Thanks a lot.